What's up guys, it's Slush, and it's no secret that when the pandemic happened, our entire physical world got a lot smaller. As the entire world goes into lockdown, we naturally gravitated to the virtual world, which to be honest is something that I always took for granted prior to 2020. If we went back in time and you asked me in 2019 if number one, I'd ever use Zoom again, number two, actually pay for a subscription plan with Zoom, and number three, have a bunch of internet friends that I talk to every single day, I'd say you're crazy. So I started my workflow journey around September 2019, but that's not to confuse with when I started my fitness journey. You see, when we see people online who are masters of their craft, we tend to only see the highlights. And so today I'm actually going to share with you guys all the ugly sides of my journey, literally. So my entire life, I've always been an active child. In fact, I swam professionally, competing nationally in the Philippines, and represented my country to compete internationally. When I moved to LA in my teens, I kept swimming and even did water polo, and I remember being 9, 10 years old, competing internationally. When I graduated high school, I experienced what most Americans, I feel like, experience. That's something that they call the freshman 15. Pretty much, you gain weight, you stop being active, and you kind of just eat whatever you want. Because after you graduate high school, you are in this weird place of being an adult and having a job and having money, and you can literally just do whatever you want. So my entire time during college, I just kept gaining weight, and at my heaviest, I remember being at about 165 pounds. And though that might not sound heavy for some people, I just have to remind you guys that I'm a very short person. I remember being at 4'11", but as years went by, I'm kind of just like measuring at about 4'9", 4'10" on a good day. So for my height, my weight was very, very extreme. For years, there was a part of me that was just always disappointed in myself. You see, I was in denial for so long that I was the type of person that commercial gyms loved, and not because I was using their facilities. In fact, it's actually the opposite of that. Commercial gyms love me because I was the type of person to sign up for a membership and hardly ever use it. From time to time, I would always think about my finances and always say, you know what, I should just cancel my gym membership. I'm not using it, and I'm paying for this every month. And I think that resonates with a lot of us out there. For me, I consider myself an average person. So throughout the years, I've made attempts to be like my friends, doing deadlifts, lifting dumbbells. I even told myself, I'll just copy what everyone else is doing, and I'm sure I'll get some results. Well, turns out working out actually works. But that's not the end of the story. The act of working out does work, but let me tell you 5 important lessons that I learned throughout my fitness failures. Number one, the get up and get it to the gym is actually harder than the workout itself. Number two, for average people, the struggle actually lies in relying on the motivation to go out and work out. Number three, relying on the feeling to want to work out only results in inconsistencies and lack of results. Number four, every time you show up, regardless of how you feel, you already won. Number five, and the most important thing, is it is very hard to do something that you don't like. The last point that I made is honestly the most important lesson that I've learned in my fitness journey. And after years of what I used to call as failures, I now call them as blessings. Because it led me to the question that changed my life forever. How can I hack my brain into believing that this is something that I want to do every day? So this question sat with me for a little bit over a year, and as I struggled to find the answer, the day finally came. I had my aha moment. I realized that the answer was so simple. So in order for me to do something consistently and just being self-aware and self-checking myself, I knew that I just had to find something that I like to do. So So with that said, I went out and looked for an activity that was fun. Typically weightlifting and cardio was just not it for me. For whatever reason, I just zone out. I don't know if any of you guys are the same, but I just kind of zone out and I'm like, okay, how many reps have I done? But I did know that there was a huge part of me that has always wanted to try boxing, and that boxing is something that I find fun. I went to sign up for a gym membership with UFC and started taking their group classes. Boxing was really fun. I showed up consistently, and then finally I lost a significant amount of weight, about 20 pounds from 165. It was really cool because it's not even that I was lifting, I was lifting heavy weights or anything. It was just that I kept showing up. I showed up between 3 to 5 times a week. And it was always, always consistent, and I was always having fun. In case you don't know, jumping rope or skipping is a crucial part of a boxer's training. So it was through my love for boxing that I ended up learning how to jump rope. So throughout my time, I started noticing that when I would warm up, most of my time kind of just went to jumping rope more than the actual boxing part. I jumped or I skipped. I just couldn't help but look forward to tomorrow. Like, hey, like, what do I do next tomorrow? Like, what's a new thing? And that really got me going. So it was at this point in my life that I've conditioned my brain that when we go to the gym, we go there to have fun. My initial goal was to be a competitive jumper, and so I trained and trained, but because of my lack of experience in fitness, I went through about 6 months of overtraining and I wore my body out. This mistake cost me, and I'm still dealing with it till this day. This is the same reason why I started rope flow. So one day I was on Instagram dealing with my foot pain, and I stumbled upon this guy. His name is Joe, and he's from San Diego. I had a weird time where rope flow was not really known or popular. And the first time I saw Joe, I was like super curious, and I said to myself, whatever this is a lot like jump rope, but he's not jumping. This was at a time where very few people, again, knew what rope flow was. In fact, I remember having people consistently comment on my page when I started rolling rope or when I started rope flow. They would always say, you literally didn't even jump the rope. And that was at a weird time where rope flow or rolling rope was slowly getting introduced, but not exactly being understood. So fast forward to 2020, I kept rolling rope over jumping rope due to my injury. And as soon as the pandemic happened, the rope flow boom arrived. I would have to talk about on another video. But this is how I got started with rope flow. A lot of failures, a lot of trials, a lot of errors, but I'm glad everything that happened. I know that a lot of people on Instagram have been asking me how I got started, why I got started, and probably even looking for a really cool story, but this is my story. I wasn't really looking to rope flow. I wasn't really looking to jump rope. It was just through my attempts of hacking my brain into doing something that I didn't want to do. It's honestly just my way of hacking my brain and asking myself, how can I get from point A to point B, knowing that the journey is not really something that I'm gonna want to do. And so hopefully this video, helps you guys out in whatever way, whether it's motivation or inspiration. If you want to achieve something and the process is not exactly something that you enjoy, I would definitely encourage you to ask yourself, how can you make the process a lot more fun? How can you trick your brain into believing that this is something that they want to do every single day? How I got here in the first place was really all because of my failures, my trials, and my errors. All I wanted was to find something that was fun. So this mentality really changed my life, and everything that I do, I try to find a way to make it fun. I'm not gonna lie, there are some things that is just not fun to do, and really, we just have to take it as that. But in some cases, in a lot of times, we always have an opportunity to mold the delivery and to mold the journey into something that actually benefits us. I'm very grateful that every single day I wake up, I get up and get it, I get excited to roll rope, I get excited to jump rope, I get excited like talking about the community, and it's just really cool, and I just don't think that I would have gotten here, if I kept thinking like, okay, I have to lose weight,